Welcome guys to the video. In this video, as you can see, we're going over 5 of the most powerful lessons from 2019 for myself personally. These are things that really have helped alter my life to get it to the point where it's at right now, and it has helped build a foundation that has really helped me to live life in the way that I want. So I'm going to be going over what they are next. That's coming up. Guys, welcome to HeartSpace. My name is Dave, and on this channel, we release videos every single day to help you live life more in a free way. You know, for me, you should be able to live life in a freeing way where you get to do what you want to do on a near daily basis and live life on your terms. And that is what this channel is all about. Like I said, I want to go over 5 of the biggest lessons from 2019, the whole year, just kind of in review, and the biggest takeaways I had from it, the biggest lessons, the biggest experiences. I've distilled them all down into basically bite sizes so that you can use them moving forward into 2020. So if you like this idea and you have already gotten value out of the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe and bell icon. So I want to jump right into it. Of course, you can see we have 5 different things here, and basically we're going to fill it in as we go. Before we even start, what I want you to write in the comments is this right here, which is I am who I've been looking for. This is actually from one of my favorite spoken word poems called You Are Who You've Been Looking For. And I think one of the most crippling things for people, especially around the new year, is they make all these resolutions, they make all of these things about how they want to be someone else without actually looking within themselves and loving themselves for who they are now. And I think that's an important foundation to move forward from. Even though, yeah, you're going to be changing some things about your life, you need to first give yourself some self-love. And so I want you to put in the comments again to help rewire your brain, to help you move more in alignment with these ideas. I am who I've been looking for. So let's go into the first one, guys. We're actually going to go into reverse order with number 5, which is get out of your blank and drop into your blank. And this is one of the biggest lessons I learned from 2019, because at the beginning of the year, I was definitely doing more of this than this. And it's actually get out of your head and drop into your heart. Okay, so there you go. So hopefully that's clear, but it's get out of your head and drop into your heart. And I was still very much in a very overthinking, heady place when it came to the beginning of the year. I've already gotten a taste and a glimpse of what it was like to live from my heart and make decisions from my heart, but I wasn't yet living it to where now, towards the end of 2009, holy crap, that's a while ago, 2019, I feel like I really am living more from my heart than anything else, living from what my heart wants instead of what my over-analytical, logical mind wants. And what I can say, and what I've learned from this, is that life really does open up to you when you start diving into the unknown, you start trusting the universe, you start trusting yourself, and you actually start moving towards the things that are deeply rooted in your heart, the things your intuition brings you towards. And for me, at this point in my life, towards the end of 2019, my life is becoming more and more intuitive, even down to the things that I'm eating, the life decisions I'm making, the daily actions I'm taking are really coming down to whether they feel good in my heart or they do not. And I've gotten to a point where I understand which is my ego talking and pretending to be my heart and what is actually my heart telling me something. And that's basically a muscle you just train, because a lot of people like to say, well, I felt like eating the donut and that didn't get me anywhere. Well, no, that's actually the feelings of your addictions, not the feelings of your heart. Your heart's never going to tell you to do things that are going to actually harm you or not cause you to evolve in some way. And so this year, one of the most important lessons for me was getting out of my head and dropping more into my heart. There's a lovely mosquito buzzing around here because I have the door open over there. There you go. That's a nice little look into how we set these up. But anyway, that was one of the most important lessons in 2019, and especially for you guys in 2020. I would really recommend you start moving more from a place of your heart than your head, because most people double down on their head and don't really move from their heart, and they're missing out on so many opportunities and possibilities by doing that. There you are. There you are. Did I get him? Ah, he's a little slippery bugger. So guys, as I'm going through these numbers as well, write in the comments which one resonates with you as we're going here. And after saying that, we're gonna move on to number 4, which is where blank goes, blank flows. And you may have heard me say this one again, another huge lesson I really started to live by and experience this year. And it's where focus goes, energy flows. Okay, and there we go. So where focus goes, energy flows. This was probably one of the most elegant, simple, yet powerful lessons I learned ever, actually, up until this point in my life. And it's so simple because I like the way this sentence flows on its own, but it really kind of paints a picture of how this works. Where your focus goes, energy flows. And if you watched my video on the subconscious mind and how to reprogram it, you would have learned that you can't focus on two things at once. Your energy will go to what you are actually focusing on. And that focus derives from the way you're thinking, your thoughts, and the images you have in your head. And so if you're thinking, for example, of something that is incredibly depressing or a time when you felt very guilty, you are eliciting those emotions right now. An emotion is energy in motion. Because you're focusing on whatever that is that's making you feel depressed, that's where your energy is going. But on the flip side, if you're focusing on happy things, anticipatory things that you're excited about, you're focusing on the good that's in your life, then your energy is going to flow more in that way. Because you're not going to be able to think of the depressing things, the things that make you angry, the things that bring you down when you're thinking about the things that excite you, bring love into your life, and bring joy into your life. And so just remember, where your focus goes, your energy flows, and you are in control of your focus. You have all the control in your focus. And as you start to mold your subconscious mind and programming to what you want it to be, you will have more and more ability to focus this at will consciously, which is going to allow your energy to only to flow from the places that you want it to flow into. But just remember, where focus goes, energy flows. And if you can tattoo that into the inside of your head, onto your eyelids, so that every time you close your eyes, you see this statement, where focus goes, energy flows, absolutely go ahead and do that. Don't really, and then come here and be like, Dave, I did that and it was very painful and it was such a silly idea. Obviously, don't do that. But where focus goes, energy flows. One of the most important lessons I learned in 2019, what you think about, what you visualize, the pictures in your head, whatever they are, that's where your energy is going to go. And so if you want to be someone who's healthy, wealthy, abundant, is joyful, adventurous, fun, you want to be focusing on those things, and everything else will fall away and your energy will flow towards those things more and more and more. All right, guys, moving on to number 3, another really big one that I experienced in many different ways this year, and I'll explain how I did, but it's your blank is everything and then blank to blank. And you may have guessed it, and it's your environment is everything and then inner to outer. Okay, and there we go. So your environment is everything, inner to outer. Now let me explain this, because at first glance you may already assume what I'm going to say here, but there's actually more to it than you think. So when I'm talking about your environment, I'm not just talking about your physical environment. I'm talking about your internal environment. I am talking about, yes, some things in your physical environment, like the people in your physical environment. When you say environment is everything, or that your environment plays a huge role in your life, a lot of people think of just, oh, where I live, the general area or whatever else. But no, this extends to the things in your environment. This extends especially to the people in your environment. Those are a part of your environment. This also extends to your digital environment. What are you watching online? What books are you reading, if you're reading at all? What movies are you watching? Really, any stimulus you are taking in is coming from some sort of environment. And so you can't think, oh, my outer environment's pretty set, but when I go online, I look at things that really aren't helping me to achieve what I want to achieve, or aren't really helping to program my subconscious in the way that I want, or aren't really allowing my energy to flow in the direction that I want. So environment's not just what you see around you. Like, I could look at my environment right here. It's pretty nice, but it's not just that, right? If I can go on the computer and I'm on YouTube browsing for 2 hours, that's a part of my digital environment. I'm taking in that information, and that's going to shape a lot of what I believe, a lot of where my energy goes. And all of these little things are going to shape, how I am as a person. So your environment is everything, and inner to outer. And this is probably the biggest lesson you'll ever learn about how important your environment is. And if you watched again the subconscious reprogramming video I did the other day, which I've mentioned it a few times now, so I would go back and watch that. I think it was the video before this one, or maybe the video 2 videos back, but it's a big video on how to reprogram your subconscious, and I go over how inner to outer environment is so important. A lot of people see their outer environment and see it as something they don't want, so they try and go out and do physical things to change their outer environment. Like, they try and force it, they try and fit square pegs in a triangle hole or whatever it is, right? And that's just not going to work. You have to change your internal environment before anything in your external environment is ever going to change. You have to think of your subconscious, your internal environment, as a garden that you're going to plant seeds in, which are your thoughts, your feelings, the imagery you're giving yourself. And then those seeds will grow into what's going to help shape your external environment. But that's how it works. It always works inner to outer, but most people are operating from outer to inner, when really you want inner to outer. So if you go from outer to inner, that's what's going to bring suffering into your life. If you understand that inner to outer is the way in which just the universe operates, when it comes to your environment, you will start to stop the cycle of suffering, and you will bring more joy, more expression, more happiness, more wealth, more abundance, and more of the things you want in your physical environment. But it will not change until you get a hold of this and you understand this, that your environment is everything. Your environment is a reflection, like the environment you currently find yourself in is a reflection of your internal environment, no matter what. This is a law. This works every single time. Whatever you see around you, the people that are in your life, the things that you even habitually go on when you're online, your digital environment, your physical environment, they are always an extension, a reflection, a projection of your inner environment. So if you find yourself in a beautiful place with beautiful people in your life, guess what? You probably have a very well cultivated, well nurtured inner environment. If you find yourself in destitute, in poverty, in a very harsh environment with harsh people, most likely you have a very barren, weedy inner garden, inner environment. And so if understanding this could be one of the biggest things you ever take away from any video that you ever watch, and it was one of the biggest lessons I learned in 2019, and I learned it to such a great degree that by the end of 2019, I'm in a gorgeous place. You know, me and my girlfriend talk all the time, and we go like, I don't even know what else we could even ask for, because everything we've asked for has come to fruition. We're in a place that we love so much, have access to everything that we ask to have access to. And that's what can happen when you go from inner to outer instead of outer to inner. And this lesson, guys, again, is so important. And if you want to learn how to do this, look at my subconscious reprogramming video. I'll link it across just to make it a little easier and leave it in the description. But it is one of the biggest lessons I learned in 2019, not just intellectually, but experientially. All right, guys, moving along after that very emotional rant on your environment, we are moving into number 2, which is you don't need to blank anything. You might be able to guess this one, but it is you do not ever need to justify anything to anyone. Here is the reality at the end of the day, guys, is you don't have to justify doing anything that you do. If you were pulled, compelled, drawn to something and you want to go do it, but someone says that's dumb, or someone says, oh, that's against what I want you to do, or whatever else, or people are going to look at you funny because you're going off to do that thing, you have no need to justify anything. There is no need to explain yourself. There is no need to ever try and make someone else comfortable with what you're doing, so long as you're not hurting anyone or it's impeding upon someone else. You do never have to justify anything. You don't have to justify moving to a totally new country and starting a new life. You do not have to justify leaving a job that you absolutely hate, or starting a business that around something you absolutely love. You never have to justify starting something new that you've always wanted to start. You never have to justify dropping someone out of your life who is toxic and is not supporting you. You never have to justify any of these things, because ultimately, guys, it is your life to live and nobody else's. You see, the thing that I learned in 2019 is the only person I have control over is myself. I don't have control over the way people react to me. I don't have control over the way people think I should be living my life. But I have control over the way I react and the way I approach these situations. And to me, the best way, and what I've learned is the best way, is I don't even need to address it. I don't need to justify anything to anyone. I get to live life in the way that I want, moving from my heart, moving from my passion. And guess what? When I stop justifying what I'm doing all the time, it saves energy and time to actually go out and do the things I want to do. But so many people are justifying why they're doing something. They're expending all this energy, all this emotion, all of this time in just doing that and trying to convince someone to come over and see things their way, that they end up never doing the thing. You know, maybe they want to move countries and they're trying to, for example, justify to their friends back home why they're doing it. And their friends are like, blah, 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 and they never get to their side, and eventually the person doesn't move. Or maybe you want to go do something and you're in a relationship and that person doesn't want you to go do it, but it's in your heart. Well, guess what? Maybe that relationship relationship isn't aligned. That's the harsh truth, but that's just how it goes, guys, because ultimately this is your life to live. You are here to express yourself in the most divine way that you can, in the highest expression of who you are. You are here to shine your light in the brightest way possible. And by justifying things and not doing things because other people find it to be not what they want, which is fine, it's not their life to live, that's going to stop you from fulfillment, happiness, joy, wealth, abundance, all of those things that you ultimately want. And so never feel the need to justify anything you're doing. You never need to explain it unless you want to and have a reason to explain it. But if you're explaining it out of a need for validation or because you want someone to understand you or even see things from your side, you don't need to do that. No one needs to see it or see the vision except for you. And if you can see the vision of your life and how you want your life to be, again, don't need to justify anything. Okay guys, so we technically have 2 more because we're on to number 1, but I have a bonus one I needed to throw in there. Putting 6 in the title though didn't sound as punchy or catchy, so I stuck with 5. But number 5 is one I learned towards the end of 2019 that really resonated with me. It's from one of my mentors. I'm currently in a mastermind with this guy that's starting at the beginning of the new year, so it's starting in a few days. And I went through one of his events where he was talking about this and he repeated this over and over and over again. And this guy is an incredibly well-accomplished, well-rounded, just fulfilled person. And yet this is the one thing more than anything else he repeated over and over and over and over again during this, I think, 3-day long event. And it's how you do blank is how you do blank. And what it is how you do anything is how you do everything. And guys, this one is so important. I spelled everything terribly there. I don't know. I think I may have spazzed out there a second. Okay, so ignore those first 2. There you go. I do not know what happened there. But how you do anything is how you do everything. And how many times have you seen yourself half-ass something because you just didn't want to do it? Or you just in some way justified why you didn't need to give your full effort in something. But the thing is, how you do anything is how you do everything. How much work you put into one thing, deciding to give your best or not, is how you're then going to go do it for something that you actually enjoy or want to grow in. How you interact with that person, maybe that you think you might not get as much out of the interaction, is going to spill over in how you would when someone you actually want to interact with, well, how that interaction is going to go. That's a weird way of saying that. But essentially, how you do anything is how you do everything. And what this lesson really tries to tell us is that if you don't give your best, whatever state you're in as you go through life, you're going to passively move through life. You're going to half-ass your way through life, and you're going to turn up to life in each situation in how you do anything to everything. And so what I got out of this when he said it was that I should be bringing all of myself, shining my light, doing my best no matter what the situation is. You know, for example, when my ego is trying to come up and tell me, you know what, I don't need to change my thoughts to the things I want. Let me just reminisce on these egoic, negative things that I'm comfortable with. I could go, yeah, all right. Or I could remember how I do anything is how I do everything and go, no, this is not who I choose to be, and I'm going to change this thought. I'm going to interrupt the pattern. I'm going to do this. I could be at my workout and be tired and just not feeling it on a given day and be like, you know what? I'm just going to get through it. I'm going to half-ass it. Or I could go, all right, I'm tired, so I'm not going to be able to give my best ever, but I'm going to do the best I can right now. And what happens if you do that for every little action you take? What if instead of when you're just not really feeling up to it, you go, you know what? I know how to alter my energy. Let me take a minute, alter my energy, and then go back to the thing I'm doing. What if every single time you remembered when you're doing something that how you do anything is how you do everything? Your life would shift in a very, very short amount of time, because you'll actually realize that you might have passively or half-assedly been doing a lot of different things in your life from 50, 60, 70% of what you could be doing or giving it. And when you do that, you start creating the habitual pattern of doing things at that level, no matter what it is. And so when you come from the mindset of how you do anything is how you do everything, you suddenly now are giving everything 100%. You are suddenly now giving your best, your all to every situation. You are suddenly now aware and present and actually there in the moment when you're doing things consciously instead of allowing yourself to get distracted, just like I did with that mosquito. I had an opportunity to get it, and I think that's why I got distracted there. But just remember, how you do anything is how you do everything. So then next time you're going to half-ass something, that next time you're not going to turn up with all of yourself and give all that you know you can give. Remember that how you do anything is how you do everything. And if you half-ass it in one area, you are going to subconsciously half-ass it in another. And so if you can just turn up, this is actually the fourth agreement in the 4 agreements as well by the Toltecs. If you can just turn up and do your best every single time, your life will change dramatically in a short amount of time. And I've seen this happen in my own life. You know, this is something that I learned towards the end of this year and I'm still working on. I still have to remind myself, crap, okay, time to give my best. Or, oh crap, oh, how I do anything is how I do everything. And I have to then get up off the couch, or I have to finish my workout. I have to stick to those things I said I was going to stick to, because I know that this is just a universal law, that this is something that will play out in my life regardless of whether I want to use it or not. And that is, how you do anything is how you do everything. And again, that is one of the most important lessons I took away from 2019. All right, guys, quick little bonus one I want to give you. You probably have actually already discovered this through all these other ones that we've gone over, but I want to mention it. And it's little daily actions matter. All right, and so this might be so obvious to a lot of people, but a lot of people don't actually do this. They think that they need to take some massive action in order to change their life. They think that it's down to a few different little things that they do that's going to bring them everything they want. It's just not true. It's this consistent little daily actions you take every single day. That was a bit redundant, but that's what actually leads to the success, the joy, the happiness, the love, the whatever it is, cultivating those things. You know, the obvious example is if you work out, you know, are you going to be able to do one massive workout and then get in shape or build muscle or get a six-pack or get fit or any of that stuff, or be more flexible, mobile, or whatever your goal is? Absolutely not. But if every single day you show up and take care of your body, if you rest on the days your body needs rest, if you eat well, if you do the workouts that you have designed that are specifically for your body, and you stick with that, you take those little daily actions. Some days it may be rest for your body. Some days it may be a certain workout. Another day it might be a different workout. But if you stick to those little daily actions, guess what? That's going to lead to the big sustainable result over time. And this works for every single area. You know, for the last probably over a month now, I have been following the daily routine, or more specifically morning and evening routine of a very, very successful person. In fact, it's the mentor I mentioned earlier. And a lot of his routine involves little daily practices that help cultivate energy and certain spiritual ideals, certain spiritual ideas. And those little daily actions add up and have brought incredible results already into my life. But if I wasn't doing those things on a daily basis, the meditations, the certain journaling practices, the certain energy work, the physical work to work on my body every single day, I wouldn't be getting the results that I'm getting now, because the little consistent daily actions, they matter more than anything else. They are what lead to those big results you see people get over time. No one is waking up one day having not done this and then just doing one thing and then getting this huge result. It just doesn't work that way. It's not how the universe works. The universe flows consistently. What you project into the universe through your thoughts, your words, your actions, physically, is what you will receive back. And it works in a consistent way. Meaning if you consistently show up and work out in the right way, eat in the right way, guess what? You'll get a healthy body. That's just how it works. If you every single day are looking after and cultivating your thoughts and interrupting the negative patterns you don't want to have in there, you will cultivate an incredible subconscious that works for you in the background and helps lead you to a happy, successful, fulfilled life and changes your external environment. That's just how it works. That's just the law of the universe and how this all flows. But those little daily actions done every single day in that manner will lead to those results. And I really, really encourage you in 2020 to remember this and everything we went over. Hopefully, maybe you're writing some of these down. You're really internalizing these, because if you can get every single one of these lessons, even if you learn nothing else, and stick to these 6 things for 2020, your life will be completely different by the new year, by 2021. And you will be blown away by how these simple little things can lead to huge differences, a huge transformation in your life. All right, guys, that's the end of the video. This, I assume, has been a long one. I can't really see the timer on the camera right now, but let me know if you like this style of video up on the whiteboard. I just got this easel and whiteboard because I'm doing a course for the subconscious mind, and I want to make a video like this because I think this is a little more fun, kind of filling in the gaps and all that kind of stuff, getting you guys to guess what they are, and that's a little more fun for me and lets me kind of be up here and be a little more in flow. So if you like that, let me know, and I'll continue making videos in this manner because I've actually thoroughly enjoyed this. It also allows me to get creative. Maybe I can draw some pictures, even though I'm no Bob Ross. But anyway, let me know if you like this. As always, guys, I love you. Make sure you're leaving, you know, the I am statements in the comments, which ones have resonated with you. And also let me know in the comments which ones you're going to start applying immediately. I would love to know. Anyway, guys, as always, I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.